our Advent preparation should not only be spiritual, in which we fast and pray. Hopefully we'll fast the right way. It must also be existential, in which we change our bad habits in order for us to come to the help of those in need. This essentially is what the three readings are bringing to our attention. And Advent is only possible with a correct knowledge of God, which will enhance our relationship with Him. The prophet Baruch shows us in the first reading another side of God, a God who can change His mind, a God who remembers, a God who can revoke a sentence already decreed. And personally, this is one of the most amazing things about the God of the Judeo-Christians. We can enter a negotiation with Him. Clearly, Baruch is demonstrating a very human side of God, a fatherly and a friendly God, not the God of thunder and lightning. It is for this reason that he urges the reader to hope in the Lord, because the Lord will always remember His. God doesn't forget the things that He has said to us. Even the coming of Christ is a fulfillment of the promises that the Lord made. While this is a very good news for us, there are two challenges. The first is our image of God. Who do we honestly think God is? When we think of God, do we think of an angry old man sitting in the clouds, looking down on us and swift to punish? Without the correct image of God, we cannot enter into full communion with Him. The second challenge is about our pride. Most times, when we have made up our minds about something or someone, that is it. Will never change. But this is not the correct Christian position. As Christians, we must be able to listen and, if possible, to reconsider, to change our minds and give people a second chance. This is precisely how God deals with us. And we can see this in Genesis chapter 18 when Abraham supplicates God on behalf of Sodom. At the wedding feast at Cana, where Jesus changes his mind after his mother pleads with him on behalf of the bride and groom. In Matthew 15, where Jesus eventually changes his mind and listens and helps the persistent Canaanite widow whose daughter was demon-possessed. And in Luke chapter 18, Jesus himself tells us the parable of the wicked judge and the persistent widow, and how this judge eventually changes his mind and gives justice to the widow. The question comes back to us. How many people have we given up on? We don't want to hear anymore from these people. We've made up our minds about them. Who needs a second chance from us? Christmas is around the corner. Who have we forgotten? We're buying things now. Who are the people on our list? And who have we forgotten? Just as God remembers, so too should we who want to follow Him, or who are following Him, hopefully. The Gospel is taken from Luke 3, in which we encounter the first preaching of John the Baptist, which is basically a call on his audience to prepare a way for the Lord. It's very beautiful in Italian when we read it. Raddrizzare il sentiero per il Signore. Beautiful. From the questions that the audience are asking him, if you look at the bigger context, you will see that they come from mixed backgrounds. They are soldiers, they are tax collectors, all sorts of people. They have all come to be baptized by him, a process we now call the baptism of repentance. And this is because of the mandate that John the Baptist gives to them. To the tax collectors, he tells them not to cheat, This is business ethics, and we're going to see this again next week in its fullness. This business ethics, unfortunately, we have not learned even today. We cut down prices on Black Friday and raise prices again, even higher afterwards, to make up for the shortfall of Black Friday. And if you happen, as we did 2 days ago, to stop next to a street vendor with a nice car in Chawama, they raise the prices of tomato by 10 kwacha because they believe that the person with the car has more money. As soon as the car goes away, a poor person comes, the price of tomato goes back to where it was before. When people come to our business environment, can they immediately tell that we are Christians? Do they see God in us? Do they go away happy, satisfied? Or are we just any other unscrupulous business person full of deception to make more money? The most striking thing is about the soldiers too when they came. John the Baptist tells them, be content with your pay. In other words, stop complaining. Many of us are unhappy in life because we cannot stop complaining. We complain about everything. And so this is the time for us to look into these bad habits and let go of them. If we move to the core of the gospel, we're going to notice something absolutely interesting. This is the religious and political context in which John the Baptist is preaching. Tiberius is Caesar. Pontius Pilate is governor of Judea. Herod is tetrarch of Galilee. And his brother Philip is tetrarch of the region of Iturea. The high priest who belongs to Annas and Caiaphas, we know these people. We are familiar with them. John the Baptist and Jesus had nothing to do with the coming into power of these powerful forces, yet they would decide the faith and the ministry of both Jesus and John the Baptist. But what does this mean for us? It means that all of us are born against certain background of forces beyond our control. Some of us are born from alcoholic parents. Some of us are born from wealthy parents. Some of us are born from poor parents. Some of us from separated parents, from poor backgrounds, from violent families, from families bedeviled by witchcraft and all sorts of malices. It is against these sinister forces that we must cooperate with the grace of God if we are to be victorious. And this is the wisdom when you read the biography of a saint, because you must portray a very sinister background of that saint, as Celano does, one Celano Francis, and then you show how the grace of God has helped this person to come out of that seemingly impossible background. Fortunately, some of us do succeed to come out of this. Unfortunately, some don't. Either way, it is never wise to judge anyone because we do not know what forces are in control of the life of that person. We do not know why they behave the way they do. We do not know why certain brothers drink too much, why others are womanizers. We don't know why others are suspicious of everybody that they're going to bewitch them. They may be operating from the context of a family steeped in witchcraft. Whatever the case may be, we have to prepare to welcome Christ because he is coming with a grace from God. He's coming with a solution to all these problems. Even Christ himself, he's coming from a broken family history. If you look at the lineage of Christ, that some of his great-great-grandparents, they were sanguinary men. Some of them were womanizers. This is the family Christ is coming from. Some of them got married to foreign women, which was prohibited in the law. This baby who is coming to us is coming inside a very wild world, and he is bringing a solution to this problem. These problems, we can only overcome them if we cooperate with the grace of Christ. So may Advent be a season of blessing for you to be able to soar over whatever terrible background you're coming from.